Hi, sorry. Hi. Yeah, but what I was saying is that my computer went out. Don't worry, don't worry. No, it was the time with Zoom, but I just sent a new link, right, to record the meeting at the end. Okay, bye. Very good. That's you the link to record the ending of the conversation. Let's see. Ya casi me olvidaron, o sea, me puedes dar agüita, por favor. Ah, thanks. Hi guys. So sorry. Uh, I have Helen semi-confirmed, but Helen just have like $50,000 and a little more. You two that has the opportunity with friends to being able to do what David was sort of kind of trying to do, or I was thinking that he will do that. Please be aware of we don't need that much money now, so not open the gates a lot for people with not that much of a good intention and more of a mere capitalism
And
intention.
what is the limit that like what is the what are the amounts that we're looking for right now? How much can we offer?
Well, just drift away properties are up to 4.5 millions without much efforts. So we could raise up to that amount just between the three properties that are in control of the remark, which is the next step to be this beacon of development. Uh, but I don't know how do you feel with it?
Yeah, and you know what? It can grow so quickly. Yeah, it's like pretty soon, you know, you get into the beach property and all of that, and we're talking 12, 15 million plus, you know what I'm
So
saying?
the people that you spoke in the States, how willing they are to come forward with some angel investment to being able to have like a little money in the bank for you two guys for us to cover expenses, travel expenses especially, for Freddie to have budget to fix the
Yeah,
and
yeah.
drainage of government.
Cooperate and get all the documents and all the paperwork.
So do you have some people line up for putting the $50,000? Helen is up to the moment.
I may have one that may want to put 250,000.
We need to start with something. With the second round of raising money will come the payment of the mortgage, but in this first stage is we need a little budget. So are you willing to create some sort of instrument with Andreas contract maybe and receive some money for it could be
With who?
in Caripius or Blue Zone, or just a contract with a promise of payment and a letter of exchange? How willing are you to receive already, for example, those two $50,000 that Freddie just told?
For me,
I said 250,000.
yeah,
Yeah,
Freddie.
I know.
Yeah, so that would be a good start, right?
Yeah, it's the start. We don't need any more until we launch the full scope project.
May I say
The first
something?
stage.
Yes.
So the guy who is willing to invest that much, he's not he does not know how to invest that money, and he doesn't want to leave it in the bank because he's gonna, get short and short and short. As with inflation and so on and so forth. He just wants to invest the money and get returns. He doesn't want to get involvement. He's very humble and does not have a lot of knowledge on many things. But he just has parents died and they got all this money, and he doesn't know what to do with it. But he trusts me, so he just wants his returns. That's all.
So on the return, if you do it on the blockchain, so he would have 15-minute city tokens or whatever, that as the whole thing grew, the tokens would get worth more and more, and that would be his return on his money.
Oh, that's over the NFT. That's the direct return over the NFT and just over the property. Additional to that, there is the tokens, which gain value from the total size of the economy of this 15-minute city.
Okay. Now, does that
Which
make
at
sense to
first-
you, Fred? Fred?
What was that again?
Did what Gustavo just said, that make sense to you?
Can you say it again, please, Gustavo?
Yeah. We have two revenue or plusvalía. I don't know how to translate that word. Growth.
Is the growth over the year, or the increase of?
We have
of
two
the-
ways to grow the money. The first way is through the pure value of the land and the construction.
Right.
From the value that we have of 3.5 million to the value that the land has of 4.5 million, there is a million there that gives directly value to the NFTs in case that you don't want to pursue the total possible valuation of your three properties, right? Is that understood?
Yes. You get that, Fred?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the NFT has at first total value or 4.5 million or 3.5 billion, depending on your decision. Then when we develop the full project, taking out the parcels that we left out for local community development, outside of the speculative market, outside even of the capitalism market of real estate in that area, taking that parcels side, the price of the land will grow from the $72 that it has now to probably $300, and just the land will gain that huge valuation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the same with the constructions. If you maintain it well, the constructions will retain a value, some sort of way similar to the value of a new construction, which now are around to $2,000 and even more, and not
Okay.
less than 400,000 colonies.
Okay, so
Around 1,000.
and let's say that this is a realized situation and it's actually underway. And the primary contractor is gonna be Andreas, correct? Is that
Contractor
what-
for what? No. We are the contractor. Andrea is an employee of us.
Okay,
Andres is just an employee of us. Myself and Byron are the architects or of the development. Byron is the constructor. He is the civil engineer. I'm more of an architect myself, but I'm electromechanical engineer. So we are inside of the engineering community and we have access to the CFIA and so forth and the instruments. But the developers are ourselves. The constructors at the end, if we could do a lot and we could grow our own infrastructure of construction with the development, I would prefer that. But if that isn't possible and the velocity of this development is too fast to us to being able to do it ourselves, we just be the general contractor and we'll hire subcontractors to do different stages of the project. So
Okay.
our work is
That's
more
what that
project
was.
management.
Yeah, basically that answers my question. Because the general contractor is and the head contractor are the people who do the construction and oversee the construction. Now,
Yeah,
the development of what's being built is done by like you and Byron. Because
yeah.
that's the
In
architects.
the first stage, more of a easy way. But we are not limited to that. We are the developers. We could serve as constructors if needed, and it makes sense to us in an economics way. But if it's easier and faster and more wise to sub-hire subcontractors, companies with
Yes,
even
companies.
more experience than us, we are going to
Exactly.
do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
We are the developers, or we don't come with money, we come with knowledge and intent. You come with land and intent, and now we are, I think, that ready to receive money that come with good intent, but ideally, beside this first investment that we need, because really we need a little 50,000 at least. The other investors will come when the DAO and the governance and the framework is already set up.
Okay.
That's what I will feel a lot more comfortable if we just receive a little investment to lubricate all of the papers and designs and start making designs for this city. But only then we open the gate for institutional investors or private investors or public market, basically. When we already had the governance and the DAO framework very well structured, so that they can't change in any way, shape, or form the full scope of the project without having to run it inside of the governance structure of the blockchain.
Okay.
Is that fully understood?
Yep. You got it, Fred?
I got it. I was just wondering where does that leave me?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I could think the same, but that's my very personal approach to this kind of stuff. Is there is a lot of money we're going to receive for payment date eventually, but if we took our minds out of the payment date as much as possible, it's more probable that we're being able to do this project. As much as we put money in our minds, our returns in our minds, at first, it's the less probable, at least is my feeling, we're able to convince other people to become part of this, because at first it's just trust and intention.
This will happen because you believe to build.
Yeah.
First you believe and then you build.
Yep. And
I
then
believe,
it comes to you.
yeah,
Yes.
and your behavior, basically. That's what we have to be very aware of our
Yep,
behaviors.
it's exactly it. It comes to you. So
Yeah,
I believe it.
thank you very much. I feel that we have a good group. Actually, I wasn't a lot worried with the situation with David. I was disappointed with David yesterday because I think that our prior experience working together should give him a hint that I wasn't joking with the magnitude of this opportunity, and that he should come. Yeah.
I have a question. Maybe you talk about this on the first 5 minutes when I wasn't here. How is this going to be built by stages? What's going to be the first stage, and how are we going to finance like the rest of how are we going
The
to
first stage,
finance? Yes,
first
and then the
stage
second.
is yeah, the first stage is here in the eighth part of the white paper. The initial setup is really just paper, which is established the now, like the governance committee, which is us as at first, and develop and deploy the foundational smart contracts, because with those people could buy NFTs and tokens and so forth. Then start these communication channels with locals, basically, conduct initial community consultation with the intention of receiving properties. This community engagement part is, yeah, we want to include you, but also we want your property inside of this endeavor. Eventual, in the final part of the year, we should be working in the master plan details. And I believe with the 250 that you said a minute ago, and even with the $50,000, we could develop these three initial phases, which are just preparing phases, basically.
Wow, that's aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, but this is for the DAO and the full scope project. This is not for Drift Away and Solara Potrero. We fully include everything that we does with those three properties inside of the full scope, but this is not limiting or actionable works with Drift Away, Potrero, and Solar just now. I'm understood in that.
So what are you thinking, Fred?
So what do we include?
No.
I thought the first stage was going to be here, like the 2,500.
Yeah,
It is, it
Yeah.
is right
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
drift away property.
yeah.
That's
But
good, you know that.
you could do that development with the full scope and as part of the full scope, or just the development as private entity. And then with the
I would go
full,
for.
sorry.
Sorry, interrupt. I didn't know you were not finished. Go ahead.
No, tell me, what?
No, I said when you say full scope or partial, does that mean what, build half of it and then start selling, or just build all of it? And what does that
No,
mean?
full scope of the 46,000 square meters with the concession zone, latest properties, all the full scope of the project.
Ah, okay. Debbie, Mark, what do you think? I think it has is concession is more appealable, to people's eyes, rather than up here. Although we do have everything ready up here, but that's
Right.
really up to you.
Now, the
I would
concession
go
is
for what's
what's
easier to
most
sell.
appealing.
Yeah, I would go for what's easy to sell.
Right, right. But the thing is that we were talking about, over by the house that is being rented out now, that all that land right there. They were talking about building a building on that. 5 stories, correct, Gustavo?
Approximately.
Like and multiple, dwellings. It's
Yeah.
however
Yeah,
many
we could.
units it is.
Yeah, well, as much as the input allows.
Correct. So that's
Yeah,
kind of where we're at first, I believe, correct? That's
yeah,
where we're
yeah,
starting.
kind of, because my suggestion is that we set up the NFTs structures, and then we develop this zero stage, which is inside of your three properties,
Mm-hmm.
using that infrastructure. so that the NFT will obtain its first value, and it's from the beginning tied up to the full scope. And when I say full scope, is the 15-minute series. In that way, you don't get diluted when the rest of the investments and bigger properties getting incorporated to the full scope development, because each NFT represents a participation in the 15-minute city development and get value from the full value of the land and the full value of the constructions that are in it, this 15-minute city.
So at the end, go ahead, Fred.
No, I was just gonna ask, what was the idea to build on that concession land, or what is it that we're doing? Because at first we said
not concession land.
no, but on the 25,000 square meters next to it.
Yeah, in the front of the public road, the other Lelos area.
Because then we're talking, are we doing
Yeah.
constructing that area
That-
first because it's more scalable? What are we
No.
doing there?
That part will be set up in the third stage, in the third phase, sorry, of the proposed implementation roadmap, which is
Okay, I
made
thought it
the
was-
master plan.
Okay, I thought it was at first. Okay, never mind.
No,
got it.
my suggestion is that the drift away areas and the three properties of the Wheeler family will be the first to be developed. We have to decide if we want to set up that area as the only hospitality area of the 15-minute city, and they will have to go to develop more rental rooms, basically, for tourism. I've seen the fact that Driftaway is already an hotel, which is registered with the ICT and so on and so forth. So my suggestion is that when we start working in the master plan, we know that we already had a parcel, which is the union of the three properties of Driftaway into one single big parcel, layout as, for example, hospitality. And we also could say that the front area where is solar and the other construction that the Wheelers want to buy to this guy, all that line up to the public road could be and will be, because we are having this conversation, layout as for residential development, vertical residential development. So you will have hospitality in the Driftaway and Potrero areas, and the strip of land in front of the public road will be vertical development to be able to have view to the beach. Seeing that the road is in this inclination, so that with these 10 meters, these other 10 meters will be up, these other 10 meters will be up, and these other 10 meters will be up, and everybody will have a view. But in this first stage of the master plan, we only say here will be a macro lot for some private investor to buy the NFT and develop this land for this use, which will be vertical residential for private people. In the same way, the 25,000 square meters in front of the public road, in front of the containers, we will set 5,000 square meters parcel for example, hospital or medical care center with some little areas for hospitality as well. Another area could be layout just for the for local community to walk using the DeFi organization. So that kind of final solution will come in the third stage, and will come in that stage because in that stage, every actor in this endeavor will have token for being able to vote and decide will be the final master plan. What area will be for this, what area will be for that. The opportunity that we have with the Driftway 2 properties is to basically, we already done it. We already
And that's gonna be the
That-
gancho, right? Like the starting point, or
starting
our
point. Is
you
the
know
is
initial point. I
the
do have a
el
I do have a
faro.
question, Gustavo, if you allow me.
Yeah,
Again, I
please.
understand your suggestion is to build where it's already built. However, I still stick to the build where it's more easy, like where it's easier to sell. That's closer to the beach. May I challenge the reason why you're suggesting that? Is it because there's already constructions, or just I'm just wondering, that's all.
Yeah, I don't,
I mean, you're the expert here, and all. I'm not, I'm curious. That's all.
no, yeah, and Gustavo wanted to start with the property that is owned already, and the
Gotcha.
fact that the concession is pending. You can't start there because it's pending, it's not for sure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
very speculative.
But it is okay, okay, okay. Understand, that makes
But
sense.
but 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 it's different. The reason is different. The reason
Okay.
is
Okay, okay,
totally
okay.
different.
I'm listening.
The idea is to starting first with the smart contract deploy, to start with the tokenization of the Driftway already built construction, and the hotel basically. From the starting point of this economy, which will be the approximately 1 million that Driftway could make in revenue if fully operated. Uh,
Oh yeah,
that
we
will
will.
be,
I'm working on some contracts.
yeah, I know that it cool. So the idea is to at first create this infrastructure, receive money up to 4.5 millions, which is the full value of all the constructions in the Driftway area. But as we are the developers of the DAO, we are the first elect governance committee, and we are deploying the foundational smart contracts, we will be setting up that money will be used in whatever we want. If we want at first use the solar property and develop a small building of 5 stories, or we want to use the 2,300 square meters down there with the house to do a vertical building, which is already more possible, and a bigger one than the one in the street. But we will do those developments with those first 4.5 up to 4.5 millions that we will raising from the value of the land, the constructions that Driftway already has in NFT form. Is that understood?
Very, and I do have another question. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No,
Ask
don't worry,
questions.
don't worry. I have time. I have time.
What are we doing? Are we implementing, including the duplexes as they are within this community of new buildings? Or are
Yeah.
we going to adapt it? Are we going to
Yeah.
seclude it?
Right. The suggestion of Gloriana is to put all of the properties into one single cadastral plane, so that they aren't separated cadastral entities. So that has two benefits. At first, it's just one property, and you could decide who will own that. But it has one risk, that one of those properties has a mortgage.
Right.
That being said, with those 4.5 millions, actually, there is in this white paper said the first thing that you have to do is to pay the mortgage. So you raise 4.5 million, pay the mortgage, and this entity is now the sole owner of the three properties integrated into one single property title. When that is already done, you constitute a condominium inside of that property title. And that condominium is a modern condominium, which could be segregated into also mothers sub-condominiums, which could also be segregated to individual private filial.
With their
land.
own NFTs.
No, forget the NFT. This is
Got
pure
it. Just
land
proper
law,
division. Got it.
normal stuff.
Got it.
Condominium.
Got it. So if I understood correctly, make one whole thing. Duplex is already built, plus whatever new buildings will be included.
Those two areas which are already constructed, you set up those as an already constructed condominium.
And
Got
then also if they need improved, that money goes to the improvement of those
Yeah,
villas.
and you guarantee that that will be happening because when you start working and developing something, you already set up the DAO framework and the smart contracts with guarantee that you can use that money for anything else. You only can use the money for paying the mortgage, improve the properties to obtain the maximum amount of value from them. That value will be set up into the NFT and the tokens. The value of the tokens will come from the value of the economy, the value of the revenue that the giveaway is paying at first with its current capacity, and with this new capacity, those tokens will gain more value. For example, when giveaway developed in the land when the Tom Cars is a vertical hotel with 200 bedrooms or 100 bedrooms, that will give substance to the pool of rents, which will give value to the token. And the token is part of my NFT. So I gain value in my NFT, which is obtained to the value of the land and the construction, but also I gain value in the value of my tokens, which are obtained to the value of the economy, of the revenue that the giveaway in first instance is given. But as we lay out these NFTs and these tokens inside of this full scope, which is covered by the DAO, those tokens also will gain value when we develop the concession, for example, with the containers, and that container also has a liquor store which pays revenue with the pool of rents. But that's basically the idea. We all are business partners into a bigger holding company, which is this DAO, which is the owner of the blockchain. That's basically the essence in a sentence.
Quick question, if I may. So the NFTs, can they only gain value, or can they lose value based on market, so on and so forth?
The NFTs only could lose value if the land lose value, which is possible if something from the government happened that make some change, but that's a risk. But the risk of the value of the NFT is associated with the value of the land, not the value of the token.
So as the land gets more and more valuable, then everything grows.
Just the NFT, and also the tokens a little bit. The growth of the tokens is more associated with the revenue that the businesses that operates inside of these 15-minute city generates.
Yes, okay.
So you create a market of tokens and you create a market of NFTs. You could say, for example, Deviant Mark will be owners of some NFTs and also some tokens, and they could let out some tokens in exchange of liquid money without losing the control of the NFT, which is the one attained through the property right, which is at the end the owner, the private owner of the condominium, private individual land, or the right of land, or whatever we use, the owner of that will be the NFT. So that NFT will gain value and the token will gain value, and you could exchange the value of the NFT if you want, but you will have to lose the control of the full NFT. You could retain the full control of the NFT with some control of the voting rights that the tokens give, and some liquidity gaining value, or some tokens, sorry, gaining value associated with the pool of friends. Or you could also make an exit for the value of the tokens. So you make an exit from the pool of rents or of the pool of economy, and you only are retained to the value of the land and the construction. I don't know if that's clear.
Yep, you get that, Fred?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then, I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna say something, but yes, I got it. It's just pretty simple.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it for the explanation.
We have a zero stage that I hope that we finish layout this Sunday.
Sorry, one
next
more
week.
question, Sarah Gustavo. And this is the last one, promise, or maybe not, but
Don't
and so
worry.
that full ownership, not full ownership, but the main or the majority of the ownership will still remain to the Willards. Is that correct? Is that what we said?
The Willard will be the owners of the whole tokenization assets at first. They have to put those assets in market. They will have to decide how much of those assets they want to put on market to exchange it for liquid money for them too.
Okay.
But they will be the owners of the holding company, which is the owner of the property title, which gives consistency to
Got it.
the
Got it.
whole NFT.
That answered the question. Thank you, Gustavo. Appreciate it.
Very good. Okay.
I sent a principle today to my team, because it's something that I made a mistake, because it's in my personality. But I'm going to say this to the group, and I'm thankful to you three to please be very examining around my saying, cross-examining me, asking me, because the principle, which is a principle from the Great Value, is watch out for assertive fast talkers. And I know that I'm an assertive fast talker. So I know that I am that agent. So his recommendation is that fast talkers are people who articulately and assertively say things faster that they can be accessed as a way of pushing their agenda past others people examination or objections. Fast talking can be especially effective when it's used against people worry about appearing stupid. Don't be one of those people. Recognize that it's your responsibility to make sense of things, and don't move on until you do.
I get it.
Thank you.
Such a fast
I
talker.
know. So thank you for the inquiry, and please do it as much as you want. It helped me to consolidate my ideas too, and to consolidate the final solution that we will be presented to the community, and that will be the true challenge. Now we are friends, not with the community. That will be another conversation. So thank you very much for the timeline. We have 1 minute. Do you want to say anything else?
No, it's all great. It's all good from this side, and this is gonna be great.
I hope
Yep,
I don't
okay,
get
so
worried.
we're good, and yeah, we'll talk soon, and Debbie will be down there here in a few days.
Sunday. I will see you on Sunday, David. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
bye.